Sure everything's good to go, making sure we're squared away. And we should be live, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Anime Bingeaholics, the show where we hang out with you guys and discuss certain animes and give you our opinions about each of them so you guys can maybe make your own decision. As we always say, just gives you an idea of what we think about something, but you should always watch it and for yourself and make up your own damn mind.
Form your own opinion.
Yep, I'm Ranger J 1999. That lovely lady over there is
Lady Pool,
Yes.
who is very much out of it right now. So
Yes. She was
bear with me.
she was binging on Doritos and cold syrup all weekend. I made that up. She didn't do that. No, that's not what happened. But
No, I was binging on meatballs all weekend, but
there you go. A little meatball, a little spicy the meatballs.
no, they were sweet and spicy meatballs.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm sure
it was
DPK.
we had a Christmas party this weekend, and that was one of the specialties. So
There you
it was
go.
sweet spicy
Spicy
meatballs.
the meatballs. There you go. So, Lady Pool, you will be kind of running the show this week because these are two of your animes that you wanted to do. So, the first one is, which one are we doing?
We are doing first Blue Exorcist, and yes, cold
Blue
syrup and Doritos.
Exorcisto.
Cold syrup and Doritos is actually an interesting combo. I've done it before.
Well, it's better than, I don't know, weed and maple syrup. I'm just throwing stuff out there, so.
I've done that one before too.
Sure,
But anyway,
I mean, whatever makes you happy floats your boat.
let's
Tickles your
move on.
pickle, Yeah, well, our lovely Lady Pool's a little bit under the weather, so. Blue Exorcisto.
Yep, Blue Exorcist is one of my freaking top favorite animes. I love it. It's illustrated and written by Kazu. Is it Kazu or Kazue? I never know how to pronounce it.
Don't ask me to pronounce Japanese names. I suck at it.
Kazu Kato. And it revolves around a character named Rin Okumura. And he is a teenager who discovers that he and his twin brother Yukio are the sons of Satan, born from a human woman, and he is the inheritor of Satan's powers.
Mm-hmm.
But he later finds out other stuff, and I'm not going to get into that because I don't know if we're going to do both the original season and the Kyoto season or not.
So this is the thing about Blue Exorcist. I like Blue Exorcist a lot, but it's totally different. I don't know what they were thinking. So the manga's different than the anime. But even if you watch the anime, if you watch season 1 and then you watch season 2, right? That shit does not make sense.
It doesn't.
Because
it really doesn't. It like skips a little bit. Like there's a little bit of like when
they go to this ending and create this ending that has nothing to do. Then they go back to the original. I think that's part of the original storyline, which makes sense. But it doesn't make sense if you watch season 2 because there's certain things that happen, like with Yukio, where it's like, well, his eyes turn blue for the first time. You're like, wait a minute, he knows about this. That doesn't make sense.
There's a part in the ending of season 1 where his Satan powers are unlocked.
Right.
And then in the second season, or what's also known as the Kyoto saga,
right,
his are not.
Does not make a goddamn lick of sense, and it drove me batty.
It confuses things a little bit, but it explains things a little bit. It does. Yeah. But in the meantime, you're going to be confused little kitten there for a little bit, just like, what?
If you watch season 2 after season 1, I mean, season 1 flows nicely, but then you watch season 2.
Season 1 is phenomenal. Season 2 makes you a little confused.
Yeah.
But season 1, love it. My kids love it too. Like, they beg me to watch freaking Blue Exorcist all the time.
Yeah, the characters are really well developed. I think Rin is a fascinating
I love Rin because he's like that character that you don't expect much from. He's like that character that is the how do you put it? The lame one, the smart one, the freaking oddball.
He's the lost child. He just doesn't know what he's.
He's a redheaded stepchild.
Hey, you watch your mouth there. I'm a redheaded stepchild, proudly. No, really, I really am. I had a stepfather and I have red hair. I'll fight you.
Okay.
But no, I think Ren's and the dynamic between Yukio and Ren. I think one thing I do like about Blue Exorcist is the dynamic in the relationship between all the characters. It's really well done. It's well
It
written.
is.
Good emotional, impactful stuff in there. I My favorite character is Kirigari.
Ah,
That's my girl.
yes.
That's my
The
girl.
snake sword that comes out of
Yeah.
her boobs.
But Kone Komuro, Sujiro Shima, they're really fantastic characters. I like Kamiki as well. Shimi is really an interesting character.
Hmm.
And then you've got, of course, flashbacks, but Shiro, their adopted father, who you learn more about in this anime. Even Mephisto, the school president, is really just fun, and there's lots of funny stuff in here. I mean, there's some really
But
fun moments and made me laugh. And I think the action is top notch. The dynamics of how their powers work, they explain it very well.
Mephistopheles is just a character in himself.
Which one?
Like Mephistopheles.
Yeah, he's a hoot, man. Um, and so I mean, they do a really good job of all these characters, and there's some powerful emotional moments in here. I mean, it was really well.
I like the character growth that you
Yeah,
see with all of these characters.
and yeah, just not in just their power as it
No, but
developed,
as
but
like,
emotionally. Yeah,
yeah, emotionally. Like if you look at somebody like Shiemi, Shiemi came as this
yeah, great
girl who
example.
never came out of a garden, and she grew to be this really powerful, good, awesome, freaking like sorceress in a way. And she grew like just herself because she was this scared little
Super
girl.
shy. Yeah,
Yeah, she grew out of that shell and became so awesome and stood up for herself.
yeah,
And I love it.
yeah. And each of the
Well,
characters,
I
have their arcs, and they kind of go into each of them, and I really dug that about Blue Exorcist. And I think overall the story of what Rin goes through and Yukio and the overall arc, even through season one. If you just watch season one, it makes sense. It's got a good ending. You're like, hey. And then you get to season two, you're like, what the F? What
what?
happened here? And not that
Yeah,
I did
season two
enjoy
is
season two. Season two was really good, but it totally, and this is what really hurts Blue Exorcist as an anime. Not the manga. The manga, if you want to read the manga, is fantastic. And it goes in chronological order. Shocking, I know.
right.
But yeah, the season two was really good too, with some good character developments. But some of the main things that happened there, it's just not possible if you've watched season one through the whole thing. But if you can kind of put your that kind of sourness to the side, you'll still enjoy it because it's still the same characters and these developmental arcs, the interactions, their relationships. I really like Ren as the
Protagonist.
yeah. He's an interesting character. His story of having it's one of those things. It's kind of like Naruto. You have this thing inside you, and you have to earn people's respect and trust and comfortable. Them being comfortable with the idea of you being the spawn of Satan on Earth. And
Quite
what really,
literally.
really sets us apart is that a lot of the people that are there that become these sorcerers and stuff, uh,
Exorcist.
exorcists. Sorry,
That's the word I was looking for
sorry,
earlier.
I've got Jujutsu Kaisen on the brain.
No, don't worry, I do too. So it's like,
Yeah, we're gonna cover that one soon because that one's a fantastic anime. I've been
God,
enjoying.
yes, it
So
is.
good. But the Exorcist, it's like Nick Naruto developing the relationship where people look at you, even though they know that there's this monster inside you, and then Ren trying to accept who he is, but his attitude changing and understanding that he wants to be like his adopted father Shira was. It's really, I mean, the first two episodes are fantastic. I
Oh
mean,
God, the
yeah,
first two are just phenomenal, and but you see the growth in him because he like fights himself a
yeah,
lot of the times because he's fighting who he was before. This punk little kid who wanted nothing to do with anybody basically, and who was always the outcast. And now he's like realizing
he wants to be
that
his he wants to be Shiro. He wants to be his father. He
yeah,
wants to
he
be the
wants to
next
be
paladin.
He wants to be the next paladin. He wants to be this, powerful person who can help people.
Yep.
Now that he's gotten a taste of what's out there, what's really out there, what he has been protected from for years.
Yeah. I think Blue Exorcist is a fantastic. It's a fun watch.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
It's got some really funny moments in it. It made me laugh. And usually for an anime like this, if it can make me laugh, then you've won me over. And not many anime have done that. And so I really like the characters. I think the characters are really fun. I mean, they're all different, but they all have their idiosyncrasies that make them such a unique thing. I think the story is well done. I think the idea, the concept, the plot works. It's not. Yeah, it's fantastical, but does it make sense? And then for this world and what they're trying to convey, it makes sense. And that's the thing that I always look at too. It's like, yeah, everything's unbelievable. But does it make sense? And I think they do a good job. Um, Interesting enough, so if we were to rate Blue Exorcist, I want to hear what your score is because I'm interested to see what you would give this. We'll give it. We always do this. We give this a number score, and then we give it a ranking. This is S, A, B, C, D, or Boruto. What would you give? What would you give Blue Exorcist?
I give this an S ranking. In all honesty.
Okay.
I absolutely love this anime. It is one of those animes that like checks all the boxes for me because it has all the things that I love in it. It has like the aspects that my kids can watch it too, which means finally something that I don't have to try and sneak around at 2:00 in the morning to watch. And to me, it's good. It's a really good anime. My kids learned something from it. They ask me a lot of questions, and I'm like, okay, I can, turn this around into a real world example, and it becomes easier for them to understand. So to me, it's perfect anime. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal for like all aspects for me. So I love it. It is definitely one of my top tier animes. And it will always be on that top list.
All right, interesting. For me, I give Blue Exorcist a B. I don't there's good stuff in it. I think it's a good anime. It's not saying that it's bad. It's just for me, an 8 out of 10 or a B rating for me is actually a good, solid anime that you can really enjoy. I don't think it rises to some of the anime in my top, 20 that I have ahead of it. But it's a fun anime. It's got good characters, and it's something you can enjoy. And it's, I think you should watch it. I don't think it reaches that level of A and S, especially with what they did with the animated series. That gets low marks for me.
Yeah, the animated series, when it goes into the second season, they lose a little bit of ranking there. Yeah.
And some people like you still think it's an S, and that's cool because it does not take away from me. It was kind of
To me, it was just like
I was like, after a couple episodes, I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't do that. No, you didn't. And then, oh, yes, you did. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Damn
like,
it.
To me, it was just like a filler type of season kind of thing.
It kind of was.
So
There's good stuff in there, but
like,
it was, okay,
let's give you some background on some things that you might miss that might be important for later on if we do a season 3. So I'm like, okay, I can understand this, blah, blah, blah. Especially with him getting that letter from Shugura's dad.
Yeah.
About all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can see how this can become an important thing. All right, I got
that was a cool thing, seeing the background of where the sword came from, and some of Shiro's backstory, which was really. Oh, anytime they did flashbacks to Shiro's story, I actually wish they would do more of that. I really find Shiro.
Dude, I would love them to do like a whole series on just Shiro.
Yeah, if season 3 was just Shiro, I would watch it. I would be totally into it because
that'd be freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, Shiro Fujimoto is one of my. He's a pretty cool character. I like him a lot.
Yes.
Very down to earth, but playful. But I mean, just gets shit done, man. I mean,
he does. He doesn't like. He'll play around with you and stuff, but at the same time, he's like, "Hey, game time's over."
When it
Bam.
Comes, he doesn't. he see things as they are, and he's not going to sit there and dilly dally around about what needs to be done. It's like, this
Yeah.
is the way, this is what has to happen, and if you don't like it, and he doesn't care whether it's his higher ups or who, he's got
Yeah,
a
he's like,
path.
this is what's gonna happen if you have a problem with it. Oh well,
I
bye.
mean, technically, he's supposed to kill the son of Satan, and when he didn't, he saw a different path
Yeah,
of
yeah,
getting Ren a chance to, give him the kid. He gave the kid a chance, and he loved him
yeah.
like a son. And it's
And that has
fascinating.
helped out the like Brotherhood of Exorcist or whatever the hell they called
Yeah,
it, the order.
the order, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, that has helped them tremendously by what he has done. So I think that he did, the right thing. I think Shin was amazing.
yeah.
I mean, Shin had his own familiar for freaking Pete's sake.
I know.
I love that cat.
What was the cat's name? Kuro.
Yeah, I love that cat. I want one.
Well, that was a great episode.
Like, if I could have that thing as a real pet,
that was a really good episode with
yes.
Kuro because the relationship, it was so great because Yukio they got this, like, it was supposed to be like this grenade that could kill Kuro.
Mm-hmm.
But when they
but
got
it just
to the
turned
end,
out to be a rice wine.
it was was silver rice wine, and it was it just tells you about, you just watch the episode. It's phenomenal, and it's really good. I mean, they had little moments like that all over this place where, the story really, it just draws you in. It sucks you in. I mean, Blue Exorcist is really good. It's just not for me. It's good, but it's not, to me. It's not super. It's not. I'll put it this way: season 1 is an A. Season 2 really took away from me, and it made it a B. I mean, I cheated on A and B, and you can make the argument for A. Now, like for you, Lady Pool, you think it's an S.
No,
It's just subjective.
Okay, if I'm being completely honest, season 1 definitely an S. Like, definitely for me.
Yeah, you make that argument.
Season 2, the Kyoto Saga, I can honestly go down to an A, maybe even a B with that, because it was confusing. But I'm still going to keep it in the A department because I still liked it. I still liked the backgrounds that you got from it. I still liked the information that you got from it. And it was just...
good character development moments.
Yeah, it was more good character development. And I liked it. And it was good. And so, to me, the whole anime is still just a fantastic anime.
Yeah. And
I liked it because it's also one of the first animes that wasn't annoying as hell after a while. Like Naruto.
No.
And it got my kids' attention, and it got them into something that I love. And I'm like, yay, we have something we can do. And that was exciting. Well, besides Sailor Moon, which even Sailor Moon gets annoying after a while.
Let's not bring that up here now.
Yeah, let's not do that.
All right, so final score, Lady Pool gives us an S. And what was your number rating? I didn't hear that one.
I would probably...
It's going to be 9 or above, right?
Yeah. About a 9, yeah.
9? Okay. I know you're tough on giving 10, so...
yeah.
Okay.
My nose is itchy.
Now, before we get to our next anime... so let's recap. She gives a 9 and an S. I give it an 8 and a B, which for me is a good score. C is average. D is like you're one step away from being poop, but there was something that saved you. And then there's Boruto,
which is just
if you get Boruto rating from us, you
pole.
really messed up. You effed up if you get that.
You messed up, AA Ron.
Oh, you did. So just as a heads up for next week, we're going to do something fun for the start of the new year. We're going to compare and contrast our top 20 anime list of all time. So Lady Pool will compile her 20. I'll compile my 20, and we'll compare and contrast just so you guys get a sense of what we like and what we don't like. It's not that we don't like. There's a lot of anime that I really love, but will it be my top 20? No. It's just not. I just think that there's some anime that are just heads and tails above all the others. And I've been looking at some of the lists online, and I just scratch my head like, really?
I do that too. I'm like, how do you consider this? What? And then I see some of the categories they put them in, and I'm just like, I don't get how this could be in that category.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, if Jujutsu Kaisen keeps up the way it's going,
Oh, dude.
It's going to be. We'll see how it goes. But a recent anime that made into my top 10, just as a spoiler, it was A until I watched the last season. Then I caught up on the manga, and now I'm watching the new season, Attack on Titan. S. It's an S.
Yeah,
It's
that's an S.
There's no argument
That
anymore.
is an S. No, that is no argument. There is no contest. That is a freaking S.
That anime,
and that is the one anime that I will tell you right now. That is the one anime that will get higher than a 9 from me.
Yeah, it's almost at a 10 for me as well.
Yeah, it will.
It's one of those few. I mean, so goddamn good. So, but we'll do our own review of Attack on Titan, because it's one of those animes where some animes come out strong and then they get weaker, right? And they got kind of have their arcs. Like My Hero Academia does that for me. There are certain arcs that I think are S.
There's certain parts where I'm like, yeah,
and then there's certain parts in My Hero Academia I'm like, no, that's a C class story right there. And so it kind of, I cover between B and mainly B and A with mainly B. I got to be honest, but we'll cover My Hero Academia here in the future.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, because there's a lot that goes on.
There's a lot of
arcs
in there, and there's so much ups and downs. But we'll get in that when we cover that anime one day. All right, let's get into our next anime, and that is going to be
Sword Art Online.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing Sword Art Online.
Yep, we are.
I'm gonna let you take over because this anime pisses me off. I'll say this: the first season I really like. After that,
the 1st season I like. After that, it's
tried. I really did. I watched a lot of it, but each season I watched it and then hopeful that something was going to go back to what I thought the first season was really good in. But Kirito is bullshit. I'm sorry, he is bullshit. I saw someone the other day trying to I can't remember where I was watching it, but trying to say Kirito is the best black swordsman ever. I'm like, have you met my friend Guts?
No.
Kirito's bullshit. All right, he's straight bullshit.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead and
Kirito is the best swordsman ever? Is that what?
Close. No, you're making a top 10.
No. No. Are we going to include games on the swordsman category?
Just anime, just in general, just characters, right? But I mean, you can list out a whole bunch. Gintoki from Gintama, Guts from Berserk. I mean Zoro from One Piece would all kick his ass.
Dude, and if we go into games, then you've got freaking Cloud and Sephiroth.
I mean, just those two alone. They're not even in anime. I still take those two over the Kirito.
Seriously, especially Cloud with all his swords. Like, Anyway,
so
focus.
introduce the anime because we're already getting pissed off.
All right, so this is Sword Art Online. It is a light novel series written by Reki Kawahara. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good, yeah.
And the series takes place in the near future, focuses on the protagonist, Kazuto. I think it's his real name, but it goes by Kirito. Kirigaya.
Just go with Kirito, you don't have to get on there.
Yeah, just Kirito. And then Asuna Yuki.
Yes.
And they play through various virtual reality MMORPG worlds.
Well, the first one they're trapped in. For no explanation.
Yeah, the first one they are trapped in. They're
like
all excited. They get the game. They hook up to their virtual reality, and then they can't log out. The beta testers are stuck there. Everybody is stuck there. They can't log out. And if you die in the game, you die in the real world. Mm-hmm. And you're screwed.
Yeah, and I really liked the concept, right? The concept in the first season really delved into some of that, right? I really liked the first season. It was really solid. I liked the way he went about doing things, how he leveled up and how he metagamed and he did power moves and he thought about things outside of the box. Everyone else was playing the game like you would normally play an MMORPG. Yeah. He didn't. He thought of ways I thought some creative ways to overcome all this stuff. And the first season was solid. It was really good. I enjoyed it. After that, Sword Art Online can kiss my ass. I mean, a lightsaber? Really? A lightsaber? Get the hell out of here. I stopped watching. I mean, I could not. I mean, I'm like, for
I
real.
forgot what season the lightsaber came in.
I don't remember. It all kinds of. I never finished any of the other seasons. I tried a couple of them, and I just was like, no.
Like, I completely lost it at the third season, which I think was Alicization.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, Alicization.
Yeah, and I completely lost it after that one. I never got into the movies either, so
No, not even interested. Not even interested.
But the animes themselves I tried to get into. I kind of liked the second one, kind of, only because I liked the fantasy elf part of it. But
yeah,
that brings out the inner Lord of the Rings nerd in me. So just need
but he kept starting. But this is the problem with Kirito. He keeps doing stuff that after the first kind of season where he's logically it does things. After that, he just pulls shit out of his ass and starts doing some bullshit, and it just was like, I mean,
it makes you look like what? Why? Just.
I mean, after season one, it just. But after that, it was like, God bless America, man. Seriously, like, who did this? Shame on you. Shame on you for doing this, because it had such potential. Really, I was so excited because I was like, man, if they could just keep this kind of theme going. And I really liked when they got out of the world, the dynamic of talking about the psychological effect. I thought that was all really good. And then it's like,
oh God, I really wish they would have kept on that train.
Oh God,
that would have been so phenomenal, but they didn't.
They didn't.
They let it die. And I'm like, why? Why did you let it die? Come on.
This just got dumb. It just got dumb afterwards, and it was
ridiculous. Yeah. And I should probably go over to the Twitch page.
I'm on there right now. Let's see, we got Kitty Odie. Pyronelli's here. Hey, Pyronelli. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciated.
I don't even remember Gun Gale.
I barely remember it. I watched it and I was like, yeah, this is pretty stupid.
Did I watch Gun Gale?
Wait, no, is this part of this I'm getting my... I'm so angry right now. I was thinking of Sword Art Online.
No, Gun Gale is part of Sword Art.
It was, okay. It was part of the Sword Art Online arcs.
Yeah, but I just don't remember if I watched it or not.
I just...
that's probably horrible.
That's so bad. I mean, Jesus Christ! How do you? That's the most disappointing thing. This anime has such potential.
What's crazy is people also are like fantasizing about the love relationship between Kirito and Asuna, and I'm like, okay, that's nice and all, but you realize that they also have a fuck ton of shit they have to go through because of all the trauma and all the crap that they lived through going through those games.
Yeah,
that they get sucked into, like, literally.
It's dumb. They blew it. I'm sorry they just did with this.
I mean, it's the whole freaking thing.
Sword Art Online, if you love it, I'm happy for you. I don't get it. I just don't. But then again, everything's subjective. So if you think it's an S, by all means, God bless you. You like what you like. However, I'm going to look at you strangely because I don't get it, right? I don't see the appeal. I think after season one, the first 13 episodes, actually, it goes off the rails completely. And it just goes in directions.
I officially know that I have not seen Gun Gale because apparently they made Kirito female.
That's right.
So, yeah, nope, haven't seen it.
I think I watched and I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that at all, so I know I haven't seen it.
I may pick this to remind myself. I didn't even want to, like most animes, I'll go back and watch it, I'll just refresh myself. Sword Art Online, I did not do that for. I was like...
I didn't either. Like, I did that with Blue Exorcist just to, like, even though I can quote the damn thing, like, literally.
Yeah,
I mean... I didn't...
It's so...
I didn't do that with Sword Art.
Yeah, God damn it. All right.
We both really don't like Sword Art Online.
Since you went first last time, I'll go first this time. This is I am fluctuating between a D and a C on this series. I'm sorry. I just am. If I'm being honest, I give this a 6.5 out of 10. I give it a D. I'm sorry. If you want to give it a C, you can. If you want to say season one strong,
I'm gonna give it a C. Okay. Only because season one was solid. Love season one. Season two was okay for me. The rest of it, no.
Horrible.
Horrible. But it does have some aspects that if they had continued on with
I really
it,
wish they did.
would have been phenomenal. So with that, I'm going to give it like a low grade C
Okay.
and go from there.
What would you give it as a number rating?
Oh God, probably a 6. Yeah, 6 or 6.5.
Okay, so you're right on where I am, but you just give it a
Yeah,
higher letter grade.
yeah, just a slightly higher letter
You're
grade.
at
Nothing
you're at a
much.
C minus. I'm at a solid D.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a C minus. So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So, also when you're watching these, so we'll go over some other stuff that we're hanging here. If you guys that are in the chat want to ask us some questions, we're gonna go for about 5-10 more minutes for this video and this recording, and then we'll upload this to YouTube. We do have the YouTube linked on
Yep.
the page there, so that's fantastic. When it goes on YouTube, if you want to put comments in there, and if you're watching this on YouTube. If you have any comments, please feel free to give your opinion. And everything's fine. If you really love any of these series or you really don't like any of these series, cool. Say why you do, but be respectful for other people and their opinions. If you're going to have constructive conflict, do. But again, the name calling and all that other stuff. Me and Lady Pool, yeah, me and Lady Pool don't play that shit. We will ban you immediately. I don't have room for potato
See,
heads.
the reason I don't have room for it is because I'm a mental health advocate. And I don't play those games, so if I see that crap, bye-bye.
I just don't like buttholes.
I don't either, but
you know,
I don't either. But
I'm the
I
guy
don't
that beats the crap out of the bullies. So I mean,
I
I'm just
will
saying.
not tolerate online bullying, and it is such a freaking problem anymore with today's society becoming more and more and more social media based.
So just be cool. That's all we're saying. Be cool.
Just be cool.
Yeah, that stuff bothers me more than the porn sites that try to get onto my YouTube pages and stuff and post, hey, free girls online. Like, okay, it's porn, but it's not,
Whatever.
Hey,
I mean, if they ended up putting it hentai, then I could understand, because anime, porn, whatever. But that's a different story, and let's not go there, because I don't want us to get banned.
Pyronelli says, I just subscribed to the YouTube channel. Well, thank you very much for that, Pyronelli. Very much appreciated.
Cool, I'm wearing my lucky kitties.
Yay, there you go. So next week, what we're going to do is going to be the start of the new year, F 2020.
Let's pray that 2021 will be better.
Yeah. So we're going to do our top 20 list of our top 20 anime. So you guys can see what our top 20 list is. Mine's
now, here's my question.
Yes.
Is this going to include all genres of anime, or are we going... Perfect.
It's what you like. I mean, you list what you like, and then we'll have some fun, talking about it and why we think that this are, why we rate the stuff that we rate.
Oh, that hurts. Don't do that again. That hurts.
And you guys can make up your own mind on our top 20 list of like what you think.
Yeah, like if you have a Discord, sync up to our Discord. Post your own in there. I mean, no problems posting out some other people's too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos on top anime lists. Some of the picks I agree with. I'm not too finicky. Like, if someone has something that I have, like I say, at 3, but they have it at like 8, I'm not going to get like crazy about it. The only time I've ever gone, what? It's like when something I have in my top 10, someone doesn't even make my top 50. Like, interesting. I want to hear why you have to say that.
Now let's discuss this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for open debate. Like, I love a good debate. So it's like, if you ever have a disagreement with like what your opinion on what an anime should rank, let's talk. I have no problem with this.
Yeah, that's when it gets interesting when someone says, yeah, I don't think this is in the top 50. Really? You don't think Berserk is a top 50 anime of all time? Okay, let's discuss this one, because I'm going to have some words. So, all right, so we got that. Now, this is a shorter episode today. We're covering 2 animes, mainly because I think I got to go help stream this other stuff on my other channel. For these guys.
And I'm sick, and I want to go die in my bed.
Yeah, and Lady Pool's not feeling too good today, so we wanted to give 2 for you guys. So,
okay, Devil Hunter, yes, that is a really...
Does not make my top 50.
I liked it.
Does not make my top 50.
So, I liked it. But...
So it was solid, but I don't... Yeah.
Yeah. We can agree to disagree. We're good.
God, I heard that anime. There's so many animes. I tried Lady Pool, like how many I've watched. After 5, I was actually counting the other day. After 560, I gave up. I literally was counting like how many animes because I was thinking about.
You
Well, I was just saying, have I seen it?
counted.
And after 560, I gave up. I was like, I gave up.
I haven't even tried counting. That's wow.
You know, I just was because I was thinking about like because I was doing like when I was thinking about doing the top 20 list, like, is there anything that I'm not thinking about, right? And so I just started putting like all the anime that I've seen and just as a check on my brain just to see if I remember if I'd seen this or not or what I remember about it, if there's anything that I hadn't taken into account, and I started like, oh god, that's a lot of anime because I was just copying pasting, you know, and just putting them in there, like,
Names,
you know,
yeah.
and then like I just did it like, you know, you do that in a Google's, you know, an Excel spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and then I just did a quick count like, oh, for Christ's sakes, oh god. I know what my
But
top
yep, I'm
20
done.
is. Yeah, I know what my top 20 is.
I actually do not know what my top 20 is. I know what my top 50 are, but I have not narrowed it down to my top 20. Mostly because I'm in the same boat as you. Too much anime, so little time.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Parinelli. For this year, Jujutsu Kaisen is
Yeah. Oh God, that is
bless
such.
America, so good.
Yes. That definitely for this year.
So good. Oh,
Yeah, for that year.
Last couple episodes were just off the chart. My God, they were so good.
Yes,
The
for
fight
this
scenes
year,
in
that
were
makes
unreal.
my top list.
Yeah, I really
Like,
am.
not even gonna lie.
Yeah, Jujutsu
That makes my
Kaisen
top
is-
list. It is so good.
It's so
Attack
good.
on Titan is on my top list.
Oh yeah, this season's gonna be.
Yeah, love it. But other than that, yeah, I don't really know.
All right, so if you're watching here, spread the word about us here on Twitch. The video will go up, and then I don't know, but we're done. We are putting videos on YouTube, so you can go back and watch our past episodes. I'll do that right after this gets done. I'll upload it to YouTube. It takes a while, but once it gets uploaded, you'll be able to go back and listen to it. And then if you are seeing this for the first time, either here or on YouTube, if you search on YouTube, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff you see. Follow us on Twitch, things of that nature. We're building this from scratch, so it takes time to get things going.
Takes time.
You know, and plus I have another whole channel that I'm devoted to where I'm streaming gaming stuff nonstop, you know, between D&D and all the other games I play. I mean, I'm a busy little guy. I'm a little busy.
Yep. And once I am done being sick, this will become more of my baby than it is his.
Yep. So all right. Anything else? We won't see you guys till next year, because of the next year. But I'm here all week, folks. Tip your waitresses. But we'll see you for.
Wear your masks. Get tested. Stay safe. Social distance.
Yeah, wash your hands. Do all that stuff. I mean, it's seriously, guys.
It's important. I am sick because of this. So. Make sure you adhere to the guidelines.
Yeah. So yeah, but you have a little bit. If you got kids, that's a little different. Kids bring just they are bacteria sick bringers.
Yeah.
They really are. They're contagions.
Yeah. That's why I make my kids bathe in freaking hand sanitizer before they come in the house, basically.
Pretty much. That's what you have to do. All right. So with that, we're gonna have a great New Year. Happy New Year to all you guys. Happy holidays. And with that, we're going to say this one's done. So on behalf of myself, I'm Ranger J 1999, and that's
Lady Pool.
We'll see you guys on the next episode. Be safe, and we'll see you soon.